All right, welcome everyone to RefineM's June webinar. This is a guest webinar on managing AI projects with CPMAI. So today we'll learn more about the CPMAI framework and how it can be used to effectively manage AI projects. Some of some elements of which have Waterfall and some have Agile. So we'll go into how the framework can be used to effectively manage those. And so our guest speakers today are Kevin Davis, project manager, and Sobha Chittila, program manager. They're part of our AI POC group that meets every week to discuss different AI potential for use in the project management space. And so we've had several of these, and then some have presented also on projectmanagement.com. So uh, we're happy to host this one and looking forward to seeing uh, additional proofs of concept as they come through. So a couple of introductory slides. So here's our agenda. So we'll go through the roadmap and have a use case and then look at the roadmap, the implementation roadmap. This is a little bit more about Kevin and Sobha. Um, so both have project management experience and lots of the industry experience, and both have been longtime contributors to this group as well. So very happy to see them presenting here today. A couple more slides, and then I'll hand it off to you two. Um, so we have a 2-day generative AI course called the Project Management AI Tools Workshop. It's very hands-on. The idea is that you spend a lot of time doing prompts, gain the results, refining the prompts, and seeing what potential there is in the AI tools that you can apply to your project management day-to-day work. So we have those every month. You can go to our website, RefineM.com, and find out more about that. Just click on trainings, and then you can go to the Project Management AI Tools Workshop. We also have the POC group, which has met weekly for over pretty close to a year now, I think, if not over a year. And then two AI tools, IntelliDoc.ai and dbquery.ai. IntelliDoc is a tool to analyze documents and find information and patterns within them to speed up your document retrieval and get the information you need. dbquery.ai is a tool to help generate SQL code based on what you need to do so that it lets people who aren't skilled in SQL interact with databases and get what they need out of them. So we're excited to have these and to be established as a leader in the generative AI space. If you want to learn more about AI, we have a webinar next Thursday that NK Srivastava, our CEO, will lead. Key questions to implement AI in project management. So if you're looking to implement AI, how do you do it? When should you start? What do you need to keep in mind? These are some of the questions that we'll answer in this webinar. And so that'll be next Thursday, June 26th at 12 noon Eastern. So if you're interested, you can register for that on our website as well. So I'd like to get some responses in the chat, just for what your expectations are for this webinar, why you're here today. And then also, if you can answer just on a scale of 1 to 10, how comfortable are you with AI in general? It seems like every day there's a lot changing about the tools, new tools available, new capabilities from the tools. So it can be kind of volatile space with a lot of things changing. So how do you feel about that? How comfortable are you with AI? And then what are you hoping to get out of this webinar? So you can type in chat. You can unmute your mics and speak if you like. I just want to take about a minute and get people's thoughts on what they're hoping to get out of today. All right, great. And I realize I can't see chat, so I'll look later and see what people have responded with. So at this point, Kevin and Shobha, I'd like to hand it off to you. Just let me know when you'd like to advance the slide, and we'll go from there. Thanks again for stepping in to deliver today's webinar, and I'll hand off to you.
Okay. Well, good morning or good afternoon, depends where you're from. First and foremost, when we discuss AI project implementation, we're talking about being successful implementing artificial intelligence. It just involves more than technical expertise. It requires strategic vision, cross-functional collaboration, and methodical execution. This presentation will introduce a structured framework and recommend tools to guide project managers and organizations to successfully implement AI solutions, basically from defining clear business objectives to implementing governance and practices that promote responsible and ethical AI deployment. Change slide, please. Our group focus on methodology of driving AI project adoption or implementation. What do we do? Project program and portfolio managers need to keep in mind, and how do we steer the projects in the right direction? As you see, a brainstorm is overabundance of tools, careful evaluation to identify the most suitable options. Is it ethical and compliance? It's iterative. In the necessity to educate resources. Is change inevitable? Flexibility is key in AI. And of course, we got clear definition of data scope. Next slide, please. What we were missing in Agile framework that needs to be considered and is critical for AI projects. Then we discovered CPMAI. Basically, the question was what methodology to use, and we decided again discovered CPMAI. Next slide, please. Traditional versus AI projects. In 2020, traditional IT project considered was 90% and 10% AI projects. The trend was AI was emerging. In 2025, now is 75 to 80%. AI projects is now 20 to 25%. AI is gaining ground. Next, in 2027, traditional IT is believed to be 50 to 60%, while AI projects will be 40 to 50%. AI projects should become standard by 2027. Here is a breakdown of traditional IT versus AI projects shared by industry for 2025. You got healthcare, leading AI adoption, AI making up 35 to 4% of projects. Manufacturing and retail are catching up, but still lean toward traditional IT. That would change. Government remains the slowest adapter with only 15% AI projects. And then, of course, on the right, you see bar charts showing the AI and traditional IT projects. Next slide, please. Then, of course, what is CPMAI? It stands for Cognitive Project Management for AI. It is a best practice methodology specifically tailored for AI and cognitive technologies. It is the most comprehensive and effective methodology for managing AI projects, especially when we want projects to be agile, ethical, data-driven, and aligned with real business outcomes. It combines CRISP, cross-industry standard process for data mining, for data-focused process. Agile. Of course, you got the Agile project management principles, iterative and business stages. And of course, there is certification for CPMAI offered by PMI. There are 6 phases: business understanding, data understanding, data preparation, data modeling, model evaluation, of course, and finally, model optimization. Next slide, please. Where to start your path? Well, PMI, believe it or not, offers some courses on PMI. First, you get your free intro to CPMAI, where you get 3 PDUs. Then, of course, you got your certification. It combines AI project practices with traditional PM skills, covers all six PMI phases plus AI-specific tools, and is, of course, hosted on PMI's platform. There is a CPMI version 7 advanced course. And of course, PMI Learning Library. It has a lot of information about CPMI, like modules, webinars, and of course, articles. Next slide, please. Why this approach? It is a business-first approach. It's structured and repeatable process. It's data-centric methodology, model evaluation before launch, is scalable and industry agnostic, and it also reduces the risk of failure. Next slide, please. Of course, there are aspects compared to Agile and CPMI. One of them is focus. Agile is iterative software development, whereas AI ML is specific life cycle management. Data-centric approach, not emphasized. With CPMAI, a core component starts with data understanding. Team structure, cross-functional, often dev focus. CPMAI offers collaboration between data scientists, PMs, and SMEs. And finally, with Agile or project framework alignment, it's usually general software based, whereas CPMAI is tailored to AI ML data projects. Next slide, please. Sobha?
Okay, yeah, thank you, Kevin. So let's try to make this real with a example, with a use case predicting project delays. Imagine you are managing multiple projects and can't predict which ones are likely to be delayed. Well, AI can help by using machine learning models to analyze past project data and flag potential delays before they happen. This enables proactive intervention rather than reactive damage control. Moving to the next slide. So, as Kevin mentioned, right, in phase 1 is the business understanding. We begin with aligning the AI effort to the business problem. What are we solving here? Who cares about the outcome? What does success look like? These questions help us define measurable goals. For example, in our use case, success might mean an 80% accuracy in predicting delays and reducing the timeline slippage by 20% over the 6 months. Moving on to next slide. So phase 2 is about data understanding. We examine the availability of data, its format, completeness, and relevance. Tools like Elation and Pandas profiling are useful here. I would like to emphasize that the tools that we have mentioned in the slides are just the recommendations. Each organization have their own process policies and they should follow to their organization's policies. But these are the mostly recommended tools that are being vastly used in different industries. So moving on to the next slide. So the third phase is the data preparation. In data preparation, we are trying to clean the data, label the data, and transform it in a way that it can be used by the model. So So we are trying to clean, and in our example here, we are trying to see if there are any data delays, like we're labeling it them based on the delays or on time. Or example, if they're normalizing the data, like we may have multiple different days, hours, months. So we have to bring it to one consolidated, one format, either in days or in hours. So we normalize the formats and then converting the quantitative information like risk descriptions either into a feature which is most understandable by the natural language process if necessary. Moving on to the next slide. So data development. In this case, we are trying to use the different algorithms that will be used for developing the model. And if you look it to the right, it's basically a cycle where we select the algorithm, train the model, tune the parameters, and again validate the results. Again, we go through this whole cycle again and again until we have a solid defined model. So in our example, we can use the inputs like task estimates versus the actual team workloads, number of scope changes that happened in the past projects, and the risk severity scores. We should always keep in mind our target. Will this task or project be delayed? That's our target goal. So based on that, we are trying to look at the data and using the model. You need to develop the model. Again, when we do this, it always has to be getting feedback from our stakeholders all the time. Moving on to the next slide. So the next is the model evaluation. Before deployment, we have to, am I missing a slide here? Yeah, correct. So model eval before deployment, we must validate the model both technically and from a business perspective. Are we meeting accuracy thresholds? Are there fairness and bias concerns? Tools like SHAP and MLflow can help visualize and explain the model performance. Most importantly, we should get again feedback from stakeholders to see if the insights are actionable and reliable. So again, as I mentioned, there are certain tools that are mentioned to the right, which are recommendations again. So in our evaluation metrics, we will, for in our use case, we can say the accuracy, recall of delays, and then does the flag is right type of tasks? Does it flag the right alerts or actionables? Are the KPIs accurate? So these are the things we need to validate as we are evaluating our model. And as always, take feedback from your business owners and all the stakeholders. Moving on to the next slide. The final phase, this is the model operationalization, which means like this is the phase where the model goes live. We package it, test it, and integrate it with our business systems, like for example, Zira or MS project in as per our use case, and release it into production. But our work does not end there. We set up monitoring, define retaining schedules, and apply governance controls. It is more like a product and it's not like a project. It keeps on evolving continuously. So that's why it's more like a product, because project has an end, but for product we need to keep updating the model and making sure it works in the real environment, production environment. So in case of using our use case, we will be using different dashboards to show the risk score for active tasks, alerts to the project managers when there is the likelihood crosses 70% of delays. And also we should have some schedules like a quarterly or a 6 months duration where we monitor again and retest the data and retrain the model. So that should be part of the plan actually. Moving on to the next slide. Okay. So, with great power comes great responsibilities, right? So, AI governance ensures that our models are ethical, explainable, and compliant with the corporate standards. We use tools like model cards and data IQ to document every step of the process, maintain auditable records, implement continuous education, and establish a culture for responsible AI usage. So that's where, like, we have heard that AI is really good, but it's dangerous as well, right? So responsible AI implementation requires a proactive governance that addresses ethical, legal, and regulatory considerations throughout the AI lifecycle. So moving on to the next slide. So this is the final roadmap as we have talked through the first phase to phase six. But we also wanted to include the model governance and risk management and emphasize that it's critical for any AI project because we have to make sure that the data is not leaked out. The corporate data should be protected always, and also have always follow to the standards and policies that have been provided by defined by the organization. So this is the overall AI implementation roadmap suggested or proposed by us, including the 6 phases of CPMAI. Moving on to the next slide. So now let's talk a little bit of risk of AI implementation. So this is the reality check, right? AI can go wrong because of the bad data, security breaches, ethical violations, you name it. There is a huge list here. That's why we emphasize a structured framework. This slide highlights all the real world risks from unfair decision to regulatory gaps. So as leaders and as our project managers, it's our job to anticipate and mitigate these issues early on. Okay, and then moving on to the next slide. So finally, to wrap it up, remember this is a project which isn't a traditional software project. They require a different mindset, one focused on experimentation, data quality, and iterative improvement. We should start small, validate often, track the right metrics, and embed feedback loops. So, and most importantly, you should use the framework like CPMAI to guide our efforts. So now, with this, I would like to leave it open for any questions.
All right, thanks, Shobha, and thanks, Kevin. Does anyone have any questions? You can type in the chat box, and we'll take those questions as they come in, or if you want to unmute your mic and ask your question directly, that's fine as well.
I have a question.
Sure, go ahead, Blake.
All right.
So my
Sure.
question is, in your presentation, is this is catered to deploying an AI solution to project management? So in other words, this is not utilizing a specific tool that's already been developed for project
No,
management.
no, right. You're right, Blake. So this is basically walking through the framework that was initially introduced by CPMAI. It's quite new. So we are still working as many organizations, right? We are still analyzing this framework and trying to implement it. We do not have, or we did not find any solution or a tool as of now for implementing it. So as I mentioned, right, each organization is using different tools at each phase of this framework. So there is not a tool that I'm presenting right now. We are
Okay.
still work in progress. Yeah.
All right. Thanks for your question, Liz. Any other questions or any other thoughts on this? I think there's definitely a lot of potential with using an approach like this to implement an AI project where it's not quite going to be waterfall, it's not quite going to be agile because of the data aspect.
Right.
So I think what is being presented here is very important, and it is, as you mentioned, Kevin, certification available from PMI as well. So
Yeah, I'll
if this
just
is
add a little. Sorry, I'd like to add something real quick here regarding the certification.
okay,
It costs $1,000 at least to get certified for CPMAI. However, if you take the introduction course, it'll give a discount, so go down to like $900.
Yeah, and Phil, just to add to your what you just said, right? Like
Mhm.
even we were going through, we were trying to implement AI using the methodologies. So we were looking into the Agile, Waterfall, all the different
Mhm.
methodologies, and trying to see how it can fit into this AI implementation. But by the time we were doing all this research, we came across the CPMAI, which was quite new and newly introduced by PMI. Not many are
Mhm.
aware of this, so that's when we were
Yeah,
like, okay, maybe we should take this approach and use a use case and explain it. So
right.
that's how we went through this process.
It's still relatively new framework. I expect people getting certified more next 5 years now, as AI projects are is going to increase within the next five years too as well.
yeah, as more people are involved in AI projects, as more of the industries take on more of the percentage of their projects become AI projects, I think, yeah, we'll probably see more need
Mhm.
for the certification. And I believe too the CPMAI isn't necessarily new to PMI. It was first, I think, developed by an organization called Cognilytica that was in has now joined
Correct.
PMI. So I think that's really helped advance the certification as
Mhm.
well.
Agreed.
That's right. Yeah.
I believe or PMI took them over, but uh, our joint
Cognitive.
forces though. But I think PMI took it over.
Yep.
All right. Anyone else has any questions or anything to add?
So I guess I have another question, and
Mhm.
that question
Yeah.
would be, I know that my organization or my company has adopted a project management tool that already has AI embedded in it.
Mhm.
And I know that there are several
Yes.
companies now that
Right.
are deploying it. And I didn't know how, since we're just at the beginning phase of deploying, I don't know how reliable the current um, project management softwares with AI embedded in them are. I don't know how good they are, or how, I saw your slide that was posted about the difference in effectivenesses when, you utilize an AI model versus a non-AI model. Did you get those statistics from organizations that are currently using a project management software that has AI in it?
So we haven't gone to different organizations, but we did the research based on the web, right? So looking at all the
Mhm. Yes.
information based from the PMI and all the other web, we did that research. But you are right. Now it's AI is growing. Like for example, you can say like Zira has introduced AI in it. Google has introduced. So each and every company is now marching towards AI and trying to implement some AI solutions in it. Recently I was working using Zira and I noticed like they're trying to pop up a dashboard with some analytics using AI.
Mhm.
Copilot is one of the AI tool which helps us with the project management. Phase one, if you talked about, initiation, where we try to prepare the documentation, and it helps with that meeting note summary, and even the business case, preparing business case. So there are different tools, but this model is basically if you are trying to implement a huge data project to solve a business problem, and where there is lot of data involved. So this is the model that would really help to implement it and be successful in that project.
So this is NK. I would like to interject here. I think this is a very good conversation. Liz, what you were talking about, that you have a project management tool and you have a AI. That tool has the AI component. Most of the tools, project management tools, they have added co-pilots, which have the AI component. So Microsoft Project, Jira, or any other tools, they all have it. Office 365 has it. And those are depends upon what tool you use. Some of them are really good. Some of them are really good. Uh, so the key difference between those and what the team presented here. So the key difference is those are the co-pilots that will help project managers to implement some of the AI tools in managing their projects, irrespective of kind of project. So if they want to generate, what is the status of this? If the project is delayed, then how much it is delayed, what we need to do to catch up, what are the risks, how do we manage those risks. So anything that a project manager does today, uh, some of them could be automated using this co-pilots, which is a good thing. So any project manager can use. Now, what CPMAI is a specific framework to manage AI-based projects. So the projects that develop AI or use AI extensively or process a lot of data, as Sobha was talking about. So something which is AI, machine learning, those kind of projects, if we have to manage those kind of projects, then CPMAI is a good framework. It's a framework to support project management for AI projects. But the co-pilots what you have can be used for supporting project management for any kind of project. You don't have to change your framework. You don't have to change your methodology. If you are doing for example, a financial project or a insurance project, healthcare project, technology project, website development project, or a road building project, or what you call construction project, or any kind of project. So the co-pilot in those tools will help you bring some of the AI related help to the project manager. CPMAI is a different framework altogether, helps in managing the project that are AI based projects or machine learning projects. So I just wanted to clarify that. So
Yeah.
CPMAI may not be so useful in a road building project or a construction project. You may want to use the construction project management for that. So just I wanted to distinguish. This is a new thing, and in particular in the IT industry, you are going to see lots and lots project that will have AI kind of development. So this framework may be quite good. You may be very useful there. So just I wanted to clarify the two things, and I talked to the team before this presentation
Yes.
also. So that's the key distinction, Liz, between the two. I hope that helps you.
That's right. That's correct.
Yeah, that's
And Kevin, I think you might touch on this a little bit, but with CPMAI, I know there is also a short preview class available to PMI members where you can get kind of the sense of the phases and how it works, and then that can help you go into the main class and get ready for
right.
certification.
Yeah,
Right.
I think that's the intro course. We talked about all 6 phases of CPMAI.
It does, yeah. I think there are some PDUs available for that too. Maybe like two
Uh,
or three PDUs.
3 PDUs.
Three PDUs, right?
Yeah. So I think we have put put down the links in the slides, so that would be helpful. Yeah.
All right. Any other questions on what's been presented here?
Not for me, other than the ones that I posed. Sorry
And
if
yeah,
I
and
hop.
next week we are actually delivering a webinar where we are going to,
Mhm.
talk more about such questions list. That's about what questions people have when they want to implement AI in project management. So that will be a good webinar to join, and you can let others know that this is what the questions about AI. So that's what we are going to talk in our next webinar. I think it's next Thursday.
Yeah, so it'll be next Thursday, June 26th.
Yeah, I think it's during, I have a standing meeting at that time, so I don't think I can join NK.
That's right. We'll have the recording of that one available, and then we'll have the recording of this available as well. All right. So if no further questions, I'd like to hand off to Kevin, Sobha, and then Nikkei. Any last thoughts you have, or anything
Sure.
to wrap up?
Well, I think this framework is going to be very popular in 5 years from now. Granted, it's just starting. It's going to take time before it takes hold, but by the end, I say by 2030, there's going to be Waterfall, Agile, and CPMAI as main frameworks for project management. Sobha?
Yeah, no, and thank you for this engagement and nice questions, Liz. Thank you for that.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I definitely believe like this is going to grow in the coming years. And since it was quite new and not many were aware of this framework, we thought it would be a good opportunity to present and discuss this. And
All
thank you,
right.
NK and Philip.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Nikkei, anything you'd like to add?
No, nothing from my side.
All right, so we'll wrap up a little early, give some of your time back. But thanks everyone for attending, and hope you have a great rest of your day. And if you can attend our webinar next week on the key questions, we look forward to seeing you.